And every time that you take a risk, you give the world kind of a chance to surprise you, to shock you and make you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I almost didn't do this. If you can only support creators who provide value and make you think, please consider contributing to my Patreon page the next time you watch one of my videos. Hello everybody and welcome. In this video I kind of want to talk about one of the reasons why I started on YouTube, and it's kind of a humorous one to me. But I follow a couple of teachers on Twitter, and a lot of them are kind of negative in their outlook on life. You know, they're really good at pointing out the problems, and I find that kind of frustrating because I really want people to discuss more, hopeful things, describe solutions rather than problems. How do we get to the life that we want rather than what's wrong with the life that we currently have. And that's definitely one of the reasons why I decided to start making YouTube videos. But I remember one of those teachers said something that hit really hard at the time. And he said, if you can make a positive change in the world, you are morally obligated to do so. Now, I remember hearing that phrase and went, oh shit. Because that's a lot of responsibility to lay on somebody, and then there's the question of, well, what exactly is a positive change? How can I know that I'm making a positive impact? How can I know that I have something of value to offer? And honestly, the best answer to that is you do. If you're human and alive, you do. Even animals do, but they're less conscious of it. So if you're human and you're conscious and alive, you do have a positive message to give to the world. You do have value to add and should be adding it, I think. But maybe you shouldn't look at this in the same way that this particular teacher did. Maybe it's not the best idea to be like, oh, I'm afraid, therefore I should act. I've been in that situation before where I acted out of fear, and every time that I do, I regret it. So, don't do it because you're afraid of not doing it. Do it because you want to. But what was cool about this particular statement is it actually kind of forced me to look at how I'd been living my life. And I've always wanted to have a bigger impact, to leave kind of a legacy behind me, to influence other people's lives and help them achieve the kind of lives that they want to have. I love being a counselor, I love being an advisor, I love helping people sort through their problems. All these things are so enjoyable to me, so fulfilling. But they're abstract, and you can't just walk up to somebody and be like, hey, let me counsel you, let me be your therapist for the day. You have to wait for people to come to you, and that can be a challenging thing to do because you have no control over it. Only the other people have control over that. They can come to you and be like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you guide me here? You don't get to pick and choose who comes to you for guidance, which is frustrating because as an individual who wants to help, that is definitely where my passion lies. But as somebody who doesn't have an established practice as a health coach or a life coach or counselor, I don't really have a standardized following. I don't have a group of people that come back to me week after week. I don't have people asking me for guidance in their life, or I do, but I don't have it often or predictably. I don't have it predictably enough that I can be like, oh yeah, today I have this meeting with this person, and tomorrow I've got, it's not scheduled out. It's kind of random at this point, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. But it would be kind of nice to have that a little more regulated and have that following established. But essentially what I determined after hearing this phrase, if you can make a positive change, you're morally obligated to do so, I knew I wanted to be a teacher in this regard, essentially. I didn't want to be like a grade school teacher, which is humorous because I seem to have a lot of those in my life as well. Grade school, high school teachers, so on and so forth. But I always wanted to be a teacher more like Tony Robbins or Abraham Hicks or, Simon Sinek, all these amazing people. But, I'm fairly new to this game, so I don't have a streamlined message yet, which I will get to eventually, I'm sure. But part of the reason why it's so challenging to get the courage to come on YouTube is because, at least in my case, I feared the judgments that I would get. I feared potentially having comments about my physical appearance or how ridiculous and out there my thoughts are and how I might be kind of crazy, so I should go see a therapist of my own, things like that. And those concepts are still quite scary for me. So what I had done up to the point before I heard that phrase was I had written a couple articles on my blog. And I think part of the reason why I decided to do that was because I knew it was safe. I knew that I would have a smaller reach because I would only be talking to the people who were comfortable reading and who would literally go out of their way to find the information that I had to share. And I think some of them were really good arguments or really good concepts to discuss. Some of them are a little hard to understand. I wrote an article on the nature of reality, but I also wrote an article on how no argument is ever complete. And one of those is really easy to understand. That's the argument one. But the nature of reality one is a little abstract and challenging to discuss. Even if I made a video, it might throw some people off completely, and they'll be like, I lost you. I still worry about that even with videos like this. But essentially, I was intentionally limiting my reach. I was intentionally not doing as much as I could. And, I'm technically not doing that either, but there's something about marketing that just doesn't resonate particularly well with me. So hopefully I'll work through that a little bit. You guys can help. You can share these videos and whatnot and increase the audience, help other people through the messages that I discuss, and get them to start thinking about their own life decisions and whatnot. So when I heard that statement that I was morally obligated to make a positive change if I could, I went, oh, damn, now I'm going to have to actually do the thing that I've been trying to not do for such a long time, which is make YouTube videos. And I know that YouTube has a very good reach. Anybody can watch a video. That's not hard. So anybody can hear the message. Anybody can start thinking about these concepts. It's actually a much better marketing platform than, say, a blog as well. And people can share the information better. More people can absorb it in a timely manner, all these other things. So after hearing that, I was like, okay, now I have to do it. I can no longer tell myself that it's okay not to make YouTube videos. And I know that for me, whenever I recognize a point of fear within my life with such certainty, I almost always face it head on. Like you dive fully into it so that you can move past this roadblock and free up your life a little bit better. So I decided one day just to start recording videos, and I wrote scripts, and I tested things out, and all these other things. I mean, even today, I still fear getting in front of the camera and actually recording these videos. And I end up writing scripts kind of beforehand, and I have like 4 or something before I get on camera, and then I try to convince myself to do all 4 in one day so that I don't have to record the other 6 days of the week. This week has been a little different. I've recorded 2 days this week, and I've done 2 videos each day, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to be comfortable, to do like a daily video or something like that. That would be cool. But I knew, because of that fear, that I would only regret not taking the chance. It is scary. It is scary to be on YouTube. It is scary to face that judgment. But I knew that if I didn't do it, knowing now that this was something I truly wanted for my life, that I would only regret doing it, or I would never regret doing it, I would only regret not doing it. So that was another reason why I had pushed forward. I was like, I have to do this because it's something that I do truly seem to want for my life. I really do want to be able to help people. I really do want them to come to me for guidance. I really do want people to start questioning their own belief systems and, morphing their life so that it can better fit whatever their desire is. But one of the cool things about making YouTube videos is while these are intended for other people, they also serve as reminders to me. Because I find that even though I have all this knowledge inside, I still forget things. You know, like recently I forgot about the power of the moment. So I was living in this high anxiety state for a while, and then I watched a video, I think it was probably an Abraham Hicks video, or maybe even talk to my boyfriend. But whatever the case may be, I started to recognize that I had lost sight of the value of being in the moment, you know, living just for now, being at rest in this experience, and so on and so forth. I was too much in the future. I was too much plotting and planning my life out, and that caused anxiety, and that meant that I was actually being far less productive. And I've only been on YouTube for about 4 months now, so it's really not that long, but it's amazing how much I've grown in those 4 months, and I anticipate that that growth will continue to occur probably for the rest of the time that I'm on YouTube. I have no idea how long that's going to be. It's possible that once I start this whole community project that I'll just have somebody else holding the camera and they'll follow me around or whatever. I do hope that I can continue to make these videos and work with other people, maybe even have like a co-host or something at different points so they can help guide me to better explain concepts. You know, it's harder for me to see where I lose people, and it's a lot easier to see those gaps in your logic when somebody else points them out to you in the moment rather than, you know, like in a comment or something later on where you're like, oh shoot, I should have said that too. But suffice it to say that YouTube has really turned out to be quite a gift for me, and it's another example of why it is I should face the fears that I have. You know, I shouldn't back down because I'm afraid of something. And who knows, maybe this will never gain much of a following. Maybe these will be videos that only me and the people I'm closest to will ever watch. I think that would be sad, but, you know, if that's the case, I can be okay with that. You know, even if it's just me watching them and as reminders to myself, that's still good. You know, it still keeps me on the right path. It still keeps me moving forward. And this also helps me keep growing, which is probably the thing that I crave most in life, is to keep growing, keep learning, keep exploring, you know, figure out more of who I am and how I work and how others relate to me and how I can relate to others and so on and so forth. You know, I'm an eternal student. I am an eternal student. I consistently want to learn. I consistently want to move forward. So as uncomfortable as some of these situations are, and as uncomfortable it is, and as uncomfortable as it is to, say, face a fear and take on the self-doubt and the negative emotions, it's helpful to remember that your emotions are your ally. You know, they're pointing you in the direction that you really want to go and telling you what thoughts are helping you and what thoughts are hindering you. You know, if you're thinking a negative thought, then the negative emotion that corresponds is telling you that's probably not a helpful thought to be having right now. So me being afraid of judgment is not a helpful thought to have because I can't control the judgment of other people. But if I let it stop me from producing videos, then others might potentially lose out of the knowledge that I have, and I can lose out on an opportunity of learning from them as well. Because that's what life is. It's an opportunity to learn and grow with each other in a co-creative environment. And every time that you take a risk, you give the world kind of a chance to surprise you, to shock you and make you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I almost didn't do this. You know, I can't imagine how different my life would be had I not taken that chance. So it's really fun, also frustrating at times, but the growth and the stimulation and the forward momentum is always worth the negative side effects that you might deal with every now and then. You know, it's so much fun to keep growing, it's so much fun to keep learning, and it's so much fun to discover what's really possible. So maybe you found this video helpful, maybe you didn't. I hope that it did inspire you or encouraged you to maybe face something that you've been avoiding for a while, or, you know, take chances on things that you haven't wanted to take chances on before. Let this be a chance for you to really start to embrace your true path. Let this be a reminder that you are an amazing individual and that you do have something to offer. And that even if you want something because you're afraid of not doing it, that is an indicator that it is truly a desire you hold inside. And that once you come into alignment with the positive aspects, that flip side of the coin, your life will open up before you like you could never have imagined it could. So, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely click on that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so that you are informed when new videos are posted. That is everything I have to say to you today, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.